Like, imagine if men got on this app and said, oh, yeah, we're going to participate in the 4Bs.
What is good, people, and welcome again on another episode. If you are joining for the very first time, thank you so much for being here today. Please make sure to subscribe and as well click the like button. The last two video I posted was about the 4B movement and how some men on TikTok have been so buttered, angry, pissed about this movement because women are having conversation about it and talking about how they are so ready about the 4B movement. Let's say you're just coming across this and you don't know what the 4P movement is. Let me just explain to you in a few seconds. It started in South Korea, where the women were so tired about how they were being treated. They were so tired about misogyny, and they decided that they are not going to date, marry, have sex, but give birth. This even led to a point where so many schools have been shut down because there are no kids to actually occupy these schools, and their fertility rate has dropped so bad. Got into the media, and so many women are having this conversation, talking about the support this movement. They are in support of the 4B movement. You guys already know that this conversation is a conversation that sounds like something that will not favor the men, and there are some male creators who are butthurt about this whole conversation and the fact that there are some women supporting this movement. There are some that are viral, and this particular guy related this movement and said the 4B movement is misandry, that women just, hate men. They just need to accept the fact that these women that wants to be or wants to join this movement just come outside and admit that they hate men. Like, they hate men so much. His video is currently going viral, and some men as well who understand what this movement is about are literally dragging him. So without wasting much time, I have put the clips together. So let's just get right into it.
Are we not going to talk about how feminism is led by misandry? Like the 4B movement? Is that not of the devil? Like, it's literally evil. These women are talking about how they're not going to date men, sleep with men, procreate with men, and all these other things, right? And it's like, wow, like, what are you going to do? Feminism is going to lead these women into dating each other. Literally, that's it. This is not going to benefit you in any way. In any way at all. Like, what is this going to do? The 4B movement? This just screams you hate men. Like, imagine if men got on this app and said, oh, yeah, we're going to participate in the 4Bs, and we're not going to sleep with women. We're not going to talk to women or date women. You know, we would get shamed for that. Actually, you know what it sounds like? It sounds weird. Like, this literally goes against human nature. You're not going to sleep with men and procreate with men and marry men. Who in their right mind would want to participate in that? Actually, a misandrist. That's who. Like, imagine if men got on this app and said, oh, yeah, we're going to participate in the 4Bs.
If us men were to sit here and create a movement where we wanted to no longer center women and we wanted to keep to ourselves and stay far away from them as possible, I think that they would absolutely love that. I think if every woman on the planet had the choice to be a lesbian, they would absolutely take it. I ain't trying to sound like no simp or nothing, but bro, us as men, we suck. We're their number one unaliver by a mile, bro. Like, the vast majority of us are extremely dangerous to them. And they have every right to feel how they want to feel. And all they're saying is they just don't want to center us anymore. You know what I mean? If you really that guy, earn them. I mean, what's the problem? I mean, you ain't got no riz, you ain't got no game. I mean, are you a terrible person? If that's not you, then why are you getting so uptight about this movement? You want to change their minds, earn them back. They're just letting you know that us men ain't the only ones with all this power. They got the keys now. And without them, civilization doesn't move, bro. They're demanding their respect, deservingly so. So how about we give it to them, earn them back, so we can get this ish back on the roll. If not, they're out of here, buddy. And that's not on them, that's on us. Respectfully.
Are we not going to talk about how feminism is led by misandry? Like the 4B movement? Is that not of the devil? Like, it's literally evil. This is not going to benefit you in any way. In any way at all. Like, what is this going to do? The 4B movement? This just screams you hate men. Like, imagine if men got on this app and said, oh, yeah, we're going to participate in the 4Bs.
Dog, y'all already did that shit. Does nobody remember the MGTOWs? Nobody remembers the MGTOWs? The MGTOW movement? And go their own way? Yeah, this is probably some of y'all's first time hearing about it. You wanna know why? because it wasn't actually about that shit. For the 4B movement, it's women catapulting themselves into singleness gleefully, willingly. MGTOW movement, despite being about men going their own way, quote unquote, wasn't actually about that life. All the MGTOW movement was a bunch of incel men just reacting to women's content online. Typically, they're like dating content, talking about how they either went on a really great date or a really bad date. And it was just a bunch of these men making fun of these women and stating that these women were dating outside their price range. It's really just these men saying, you didn't settle for my pathetic ass. Like, this movement was false advertising at its finest. These men would not stop talking about women. Like, these men could not stop talking about or worrying about women that weren't even thinking about them. But they were supposed to be going their own way. And them going their own way was the equivalent to someone saying, I'm leaving, storming out of the house, and then just staking out in the bushes in the front yard. Men go their own way. Why don't you go away?
The 4B movement, this just screams you hate men.
This movement, I'm glad it's happening because it's really showing how fragile the male ego is. Mm-hmm. Y'all are upset because we're saying no. Let that sink in, Bookie. We're saying no to procreating. Hold on, pause. I want kids. But they're saying no to procreating, having sex with, being in a relationship with, etc., etc. And you're upset. It literally is not doing anything to you, but not giving you Gucci. That's it. Because y'all leave when they have a baby anyways.
Yeah.
Y'all abuse them when you're married. And even the ones that are not even, trying to have kids and all that stuff. A woman can't go outside at night with her headphones blasting without worried about a man. I don't know. I'm not saying I hate men, and there are good men in the world, for sure. But if we're going to call a spade, let's be real here. The male ego is very fragile, and y'all cannot handle that women are really sick of your shit. Do better, and you would have a opinion on the 4B movement. You'd actually understand that there are women who like men and women who respect men, but it's hard to respect and like a species that 85% is predators. Sucks to suck. One last thing. I saw a stitch. This guy said, okay, well, when y'all need our protection, don't call on us. Who are we being protected from? Let's hear him. Just do better. Do better.
Are we not going to talk about how feminism is led by misandry? Like the 4B movement? Is that not of the devil? Like, it's literally evil.
Hey, little guy, I don't think you know what feminism is, let alone misandry, if there is such a thing. Mm-hmm. Because feminism fights for equality for everyone. And as for misandry just hurts your little feelings. It doesn't physically hurt you, whereas misogyny actually unalives women. Now, for those of you that don't know what the 4B movement is, it started in South Korea, and all it is that women who are so fed up with toxic men, with shit men, with violent men, they decided they don't want to have anything to do with men anymore. So they stopped dating and having children with these men. Women not wanting to have anything to do with you is not misandry. Let me give you a quick comparison. You see, women who are trying to live the 4B lifestyle, they want to move far away from you. They want to have nothing to do with you, no more interaction with you. They want nothing from you. Whereas men like you who practice misogyny on a daily basis come toward women. You harm women. And my favorite part about this, especially because it affects you so much, is that women who are choosing to live alone are not only living alone, but they are thriving and living so much happier than they would being with somebody toxic like this.
Like, imagine if men got on this app and said, oh yeah, we're going to participate in the 4Bs. We're not going to sleep with women. We're not going to talk to women or date women.
Please do. You would be doing all of us a favor. Nobody wants this type of a man. It's not all men that women are running away from. It's men like this.
Are we not going to talk about how feminism is led by misandry? Like the 4B move?
Or hear me out. Hey, we're tired of being murdered. We're tired of being the victims of intimate partner violence. So until that changes, we ain't gonna fuck with you. Yo, hey kids, and welcome to everybody from the river to the sea. There's a lot of points you make in your video that are just not founded in anything. I can tell where you're getting those ideas because I understand where they come from. I understand where they come from because I grew up in a religious environment informed by patriarchal standards that I can hear all the dog whistle. For example, you said, well, that just goes against nature. Isn't that of the devil? No. The assumption there that women sleeping with men is only natural, so you're just hurting yourself if you're not going to sleep with men because now you're not fulfilling your God-given role. The truth is, if we're going to make the natural argument, in nature, we actually see a variety of relationships. I saw an article just like a couple of weeks ago that I thought was hilarious, and it was like the first photo captured of, I think it was humpback whales mating, and it was 2 males. So go ahead and delete that from your brain. It's going to require you to self-reflect and unpack your conditioning. You then ask, well, how will this even benefit you? Well, go to my intro, like no longer be the victims of intimate partner violence. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to go through everything you say in your video because it's not worth my time, but let's go with the premise that this is all misandry. Is it though? Or is it actually love and care for self? Is it simply self-preservation? And why shouldn't people be able to opt out of arrangements and relationships that are not only not working for them, but are absolutely harmful for them, especially when there's abuse present? And I think I can confidently say that if people who join something like the 4B movement had men of character, and I mean actual character, actual self-identity, actual integrity, not just a projection of the societal standards that they think they're supposed to fulfill, then they may not feel the need to distance themselves and protect themselves from those men. But as of right now, we can just look at all of the facts, and it's actually a very reasonable stance to take. Because often people like you and me think that we are good men. We think that good men are those who project that image outward. But they haven't done the inner work to find their own values and align with them, to have a sturdy inner integrity and a character that matches. And we should hear about the 4B movement, and instead of going, oh, poor us, this is just misandry, this is just hatred towards men, we could ask ourselves, why are people lacking actual good men in their lives? And what can we do collectively as men to change that status quo? Just like these femme presenting people are saying collectively, we're opting out. What if you and I collectively, in a similar way, but in the opposite direction, said we're no longer going to stand by our dudes that act and behave this way? Instead, we're going to hold ourselves and other dudes accountable. We're going to teach them to deconstruct their rigid ways of thinking about their own manhood, to think of themselves more than their function within a already broken system, to not define themselves by their roles as protector, provider, procreator, and to connect to our emotion. The thing that lots of us are told is just not natural for us, but it's actually the most natural thing for us. Because I don't know about you, bro, but if a whole group of people are coming together and trying to distance themselves from me, I don't look at the group and go, something's wrong with them. I go, what did I do? And if I haven't done anything, I go, what did that fucker do? And then I work to be accountable and change those things. And again, that's pretty reasonable. Grace and peace.
This 4B movement is actually a very interesting conversation, especially on TikTok. You guys know TikTok is that place where people get to say it the way it is. This conversation is actually very, very interesting. And the way some men have been butthurt about this conversation is very, very crazy. He said, what if men are to, do the same movement and say they are not going to have anything to do with women? Like, isn't that going to be weird? And a lot of men are even sticking to the fact that it's not going to be weird. Like, it's not going to be weird. One of the things I noticed is not all women are in support of this movement. Some videos of women who are not in support of this movement, and I am going to be, putting together other people's points as well and put it on the other channel. So if you have not subscribed to that channel, make sure you go subscribe to that channel. This study was basically talking about how Black women should not be on this movement because white women brought feminism to them. They told them that Black men are evil, and now they are coming with another movement just to keep separating the community. That Black people should basically not engage in this movement. There are other people talking about how the misandry that is even mentioning the hate he is talking about that women have for men, the hate will not be there if these women are being treated right by these men. A lot of men talking about they are strongly in support of this movement probably have been hurt by so many men or even have people closer to them who have been hurt. Like one of the stitches mentioned, he said that some men even talking about you all should not call us when you are in danger. And that lady said, who is actually putting these women in danger? Like, who are they scared of? Who are they scared? Like, when they are out at night, who are they scared? There have been so many times that men have had to attack women. There was a very sad news of a twin girl that was killed. I don't know if you guys saw that news. There was a news of a twin girl killed by a man because she refused to give this man a number. Just for saying no, she was killed. So these are the things that people will experience. Imagine the trauma that the other twin will have to live with. Imagine how she will feel. So I feel like a lot of these are coming from how badly women have been treated. And this whole trend started in South Korea because of how badly their women are being treated. So it's almost like a lot of men who are saying so many things and have been going viral, they are not getting the point of what women are talking about. This person said, "Stop it. It is a rebranding of white feminism. Why women have committed way more injustice against Black women and Black people just as much as patriarchy has." Another person said, "Feminism wasn't born because women hate men. It was born because men hate women." And this is one of the parts that so many of them who are butthurt about this conversation are not getting. Feminism is not the opposite of misogyny. It is a response to it, and they are not getting it. Even though so many people have been teaching and saying this is what this movement means, there are just some people who just see it as, okay, now you all hate men, you all don't want to procreate with men, you don't want to date them, you don't want to marry them, you don't want to have sex, you don't want to have kids. I don't even think they care about the kids, just like one of the teachers said, because they be running away when these women get pregnant. So I don't really think they care about the kids. I think they're more concerned about the intimacy, getting closer, and all of that. Another person said, "I left my toxic narcissistic partner and he said I couldn't live without him. He unalived last year and I passed my master's degree with a distinction." 4B sounds very great. This person said, "It does not know what the top of the fridge is like. Feminism is more of a reach for him than the chef in a cabinet." Another person said, "Girl, we can explain the 4B movement to them till we are blue in the face and they are still not going to get it. I have just decided to share their video and block them." And this is what the movement is all about. But there are so many saying, "You all just hate men. You all don't want to have anything to do with men and you all are going to regret it." The last one I have here said, "Original feminism has roots in colonizers' activities. 4B should catch on so we have less supremacy and allow foreign women to expand." If you have seen this conversation, if you have had this, if you have come across the take from the women's side and from the men's side, especially from men who have brought out about it, what do you think about the 4B movement? Like, let's continue this conversation in the comment section and I will catch you guys in the next one.